Would you recognize the moment your medication routine turns deadly? If you're over 60, each pill you take is more than just medicine. It's a decision, a responsibility, and sometimes a silent gamble. Every day, thousands of seniors are rushed to emergency room, not because of medical errors from professionals, but because of something far more common and personal, a simple, avoidable medication mistake. I'm Dr. Bob. I've been a pharmacist for more than 35 years, helping people just like you manage complicated prescriptions and stay safe. But no amount of expertise could stop what happened to me. One rushed morning, I picked up the wrong bottle, swallowed a pill I had stopped taking long ago, and by that evening, I was lying in a hospital bed, breath shallow, heart racing, unsure if I'd see another day. That experience changed everything. That's why I'm sharing this with you, not to scare you, but to prepare you. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through the 7 subtle but serious signs that your medication routine may be endangering your health. More importantly, I'll give you the tools to change it, starting today. Your golden years should be your strongest, wisest, and most empowered. Let's make sure they are. Let's begin. Let's get started. You can't name all your medications. Imagine being asked the simple question, what medications do you take and why? For many seniors, that question isn't so simple. In fact, not knowing the answer could be the first sign that your health may be at risk. I say this not just as a pharmacist with 35 years of experience, but as someone who learned the hard way. One morning, I reached for a familiar bottle, believing it was my regular blood pressure medication. It wasn't. It was an old prescription I should have thrown away months earlier. Hours later, I was in the emergency room with a pounding heart and severe dizziness. What happened to me happens to millions every year, especially those over 60 who often juggle 5, 6, or even 10 different prescriptions. Without a clear, updated list, it becomes incredibly easy to confuse one pill for another, to accidentally double up, or to skip a critical dose altogether. And while the labels may be small and the pill bottles may look similar, the consequences can be life-altering. So here's what I recommend. Sit down and write out every single medication you take. Prescriptions, over-the-counter meds, vitamins, supplements, even the occasional pain reliever. Include the name, the dosage, the time you take it, and why you're taking it. Update this list at the start of every month. Then take it a step further. Share it with your doctor, your pharmacist, and a trusted family member. Keep a printed copy in your wallet and post one on your fridge. This isn't just a checklist, it's a lifeline, a simple document that tells your story when you can't, that protects you when memory fails, and that could very well save your life in a moment of crisis. Being organized with your medications isn't just a smart habit, it's an act of self-respect and self-preservation. And it all starts with knowing exactly what you take and why. Your medications are scattered everywhere. Now, once you've taken control by knowing what you take and why, you'd think that's enough. But here's what caught me off guard next. The clutter. Pills in the bathroom cabinet, a bottle tucked in the kitchen drawer, a few left in my travel bag from a trip months ago. Some were duplicates, others were expired, and some I wasn't even sure what they were for. At first, it didn't seem like a big deal, but over time, I noticed something alarming. I'd occasionally miss doses, or worse, take the wrong one twice. I realized that scattered medications don't just create physical mess, they create mental confusion. And confusion with medicine? That's a recipe for danger. For many seniors, this habit creeps in silently. You leave one bottle by the bed for nighttime convenience, another near the TV, a few in your handbag just in case. Before long, you're guessing what you've taken and when. And guessing with medications is never safe. That's why I made a change. I created one medication station, cool, dry, and out of direct sunlight. I bought a simple weekly pill organizer and made it part of my Sunday routine. Every week, I refill it carefully, checking labels, tossing expired pills, and keeping everything in one place. This tiny act of organizing brought me peace of mind, and it's a gift I want you to have too. Because when your medications are scattered, your safety is too. But when they're in order, so is your health. You rely on memory, not a system. Even with all my years in pharmacy, I still found myself staring blankly at the table one morning, coffee in hand, thinking, did I already take my pills? I couldn't be sure. I didn't want to miss a dose, so I took them again. Hours later, my body told me something was wrong. My heart was racing, my hands shaky. That second dose pushed me too far. This was a wake-up call. Memory, no matter how sharp it used to be, can't be trusted with life-or-death routines. As we age, stress, fatigue, and even normal forgetfulness creep in quietly. And relying on our minds alone for something as critical as medication? That's not just risky, it's reckless. Many seniors brush off these moments. I've always remembered, I don't need a pill box, but one mix-up is all it takes. And sometimes, there's no second chance. So I made a change. I set daily alarms on my phone, gentle reminders that became part of my rhythm. I tied my doses to moments in my day. Breakfast, brushing my teeth, my evening walk. I even kept a little chart on the fridge, checking each box as I went. It wasn't about control, it was about peace of mind. Having a system doesn't mean you're forgetful. It means you're wise enough to protect yourself from the unexpected. Because when it comes to medication, routine isn't boring, it's life-saving. You ignore strange symptoms, blaming just age. Sometimes your body tries to tell you something, but we've all been conditioned to shrug it off. One afternoon, I felt unusually lightheaded. A bit of nausea followed. I probably didn't drink enough water, I told myself. It's just age catching up. But it wasn't just age. It was a delayed reaction to a medication I had accidentally taken twice. As we grow older, we tend to normalize discomfort. A little fatigue? Must be retirement blues. Some dizziness? Maybe I stood up too fast. But those seemingly minor symptoms can be the early whispers of something bigger, something that needs your attention. I've since learned to listen more closely to my body. If something feels off after taking medication, I write it down. If that feeling repeats, I tell my doctor. No shame, no waiting. It's better to over-communicate than overlook a clue your body is giving you. You know yourself better than anyone. Don't let years of experience be brushed aside by habit or assumption, because catching a pattern early, no matter how small, might prevent something serious later. You have multiple doctors prescribing meds. When I turned 70, I had 3 different doctors. One for my heart, one for my joints, and one for everything in between. Each meant well. Each prescribed what they thought would help, but none of them talked to each other. Over time, I began feeling off. Not sick, but not right. When I finally reviewed my full list, I found that 2 of my medications had a dangerous interaction. It wasn't because of incompetence. It was because no one had the full picture. Many seniors see multiple specialists. It's normal and often necessary. But unless someone is connecting the dots, there's room for error. That's why I tell every patient now, pick one pharmacy and let them be your medication quarterback. Bring your full med list to every appointment. Ask each doctor, does this interact with anything else I'm taking? You don't need to become a medical expert. You just need to stay aware. Your health is a team effort. Make sure everyone's playing the same game. You've never had a full medication review. We get oil changes for our cars. We clean out our closets. But when was the last time you sat down and reviewed every single pill you put into your body? For me, it had been years. Despite my background in pharmacy, I had fallen into the habit of routine. Until one day, a colleague offered to review my list. What he found shocked me. Expired pills, duplicate prescriptions, and even an over-the-counter supplement that could have interfered with my blood thinner. Medication reviews aren't just a nice-to-have. They're essential. Every year, our health changes. Our bodies change. What worked last year may not be safe this year. That's why I recommend this simple but powerful step. Once a year, gather every pill, every bottle, and sit down with your pharmacist. Let them take a look. Let them ask questions. You might be surprised by what you learn and relieved by what you can let go of. It's not about taking fewer pills. It's about taking the right ones, the safe ones, and only the ones you need. You don't have an emergency medication plan. The most terrifying part of my medication mistake wasn't the symptoms. It was seeing the fear in my wife's eyes as she spoke to the EMTs. They asked her what I had taken. She didn't know. In an emergency, seconds matter. Clarity can save your life, but confusion can cost it. That's why I created my ICE, in case of emergency card. It lists every medication I take, any allergies I have, my doctor's names, and who to call if I can't speak. I keep a copy in my wallet, one on the fridge, one in my phone, and I update it every time something changes. This tiny action provides huge relief, not just for me, but for my family. They now know what to say if I can't. And that peace of mind is priceless. Don't wait for a scare. Build your emergency plan now. Your future self and your loved ones will thank you. The medication safety shield, the system that saved me. After that frightening experience, I knew I had to take control, not just for myself, but for every senior I care for. So I developed what I now call the Medication Safety Shield, a simple, love-saving routine designed to eliminate confusion, prevent mistakes, and give peace of mind. It isn't fancy or complicated. In fact, it's built on common sense, but the power lies in its consistency. Each part of this shield plays a vital role in keeping you safe. It starts with a master medication list, updated every month, so you always know what you're taking and why. Then there's the weekly pill organizer, filled every Sunday, helping you stay on track one day at a time. To support your memory, use a daily alarm or checklist, because even the sharpest minds forget under stress. Stick with one pharmacy to ensure someone sees the full picture, and never skip your annual medication review. It's like a tune-up for your health. And finally, prepare for the unexpected with an ICE card that speaks for you when you can't. This isn't just a system, it's a promise to yourself, a commitment to stay in control, live with confidence, and avoid the mistakes that nearly cost me everything. With this shield in place, you don't have to fear your medications. You can trust them again. Final thoughts. A message from Dr. Bob. So here we are, at the end of a journey that began with a near miss and a handful of pills. I didn't share this story to scare you, but to awaken something inside you, the awareness that small changes can make a world of difference. These 7 signs are not just warnings. They are doorways to reclaiming your health, your confidence, and your independence. I've been there, confused, overwhelmed, and scared, but I also found my way back through a simple system, built not on complexity, but on clarity and consistency. Aging isn't about surrendering control. It's about embracing wiser choices. When you take the time to organize your medications, ask the right questions, and stay prepared for the unexpected, you're not just protecting your health, you're honoring your life. Every step you take today, no matter how small, builds a safer tomorrow. If this message has touched something in you, don't let it fade away. Take action. Review your medication list, build your routine, and talk to someone you trust. You're not alone, and you're far stronger than you may realize. Let this be the beginning, not of fear, but of freedom. Because you deserve not just more years, but the best years still ahead. With care and respect, Dr. Bob.